Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest today is Amy Biddle, and she is the founder of the eCommerce Traffic Handler Program, helping e-commerce business owners take control of their marketing and grow their business without hiring an agency. Members use current proven Facebook ad methods as well as other customer attraction techniques based on timeless marketing methods. By using strategies that are never outdated, clients enjoy frequent and massive successes. I welcome you to the show, Amy.
Thanks so much, Jim. I'm really excited to be here. This is fun.
Me too. I'm taking the glasses off now. I'm actually officially blind.
There you go.
But it's just the glare. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you do first of all, then we're going to get into some other questions.
Absolutely. Okay. So I have a number of clients. There's a small group of about 42 amazing business owners that I'm working with right now. And they're mostly Shopify store owners. And they come into this program because they want to grow their businesses. And so it's just a series of, modules really that I take them through, and it's a very high touch, added value all the time course, and we'll take them from low income, low revenue to high revenue. Like for example, just to give you a quick example, one of the members came in, she was struggling to make $4,000 a month, and now she's over $40,000 or $50,000 a month consistently in revenue, and running a much smarter business.
That's amazing.
That's just one example. There's 42 of them. It's amazing.
We will get to some other stories on that tonight. I'm so looking forward to it. I love success stories. I really do. I want to know what lit the fire for you to want to actually become an entrepreneur in the first place.
I really didn't start out wanting to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I kept getting these jobs that somebody else probably should have had. And, I messed them up. Every couple of years, I would just burn it down, go start something new, find a new job, think, this job is going to be it. And it was never it. So one job I was working, they had career counseling. And I thought, oh, this is it. I'm going to go get me some of that career counseling and sprinkle that on and see what happens. Well, it turns out that I have the exact correct personality to sit alone in a room and do stuff. So it's kind of the beginning of it. By then the internet had been invented. So thank you, Al Gore. And, then the rest is history.
Al Gore.
Found stuff to do. Sorry, I'm dating myself on that one.
Oh, no, I mean, I know because I laughed. So wait, it means I'm old too. So no big deal. That is really cool. That's really cool. Okay, so I always say the entrepreneurial path is a journey. There's no overnight successes. At least that's what I've seen since I've been doing this. I've been doing this a little while. So along your journey or your path, what obstacles have come against you? What things have held you back, either internally or externally, along that journey?
Yeah, most of it's internal. I think where I really launched myself when I graduated from college, I had an English degree, so that's highly useful, right? I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to go. So I basically dropped a pin on a map and went. And I started a woodworking business, and I rented shop space from a guy I had just met. And he was helping me get clients, but it wasn't enough to stay afloat. And I didn't know anything about marketing. So I failed. Within 8 months, I was out of business. And it's amazing that I was even in business for 8 months. So that started me on the journey of learning about marketing. And I started reading and studying, and I didn't study in school, but I sure studied when I got out of school. And so that failure pretty much set me up for, what I'm doing now.
That's good.
It's the biggest, it was a huge leap, and I was working jobs and stuff in between, but so eBay was new still. And I bought a list and I wrote a letter to the people on the list, and I made them an offer. And then I bought stuff from them because of this letter, which had like a 35%, conversion rate. And then I sold stuff on eBay that I bought from these people, and I was hooked. Absolutely hooked. The internet was the greatest thing that was ever invented. It was 15 years ago, or whenever eBay was new. That's
when you had dial up and AOL, and
it was dial up. It was awful. I have flashbacks when I hear that noise.
I know,
like,
me too. I haven't heard that noise in a while. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that noise
Every
in a
once in a
while.
while, you hear it in a movie.
If I
or
do,
a
I think
YouTube
it's
video.
going to run, or I think I
Yeah.
run. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the internet and the way we have it now, not maybe the way it was then, but the way we have it now, it's incredible. We're able to talk over distances from all over the world and be able to talk to people and network with people that we normally would have never gotten to know in our whole life.
Right.
We would have never ran across these people.
Not in a million years.
It's so crazy to think of. It used to be that you went down to the general store and you know what I'm saying? And everybody would kind of know everybody in the town. And that's as far as you got, really.
A couple generations back.
Yeah.
I think it's great grandfather was co-owner of a hardware store in Philadelphia, just off Market Street.
Yeah.
And, there had to be foot traffic. There had to be a place to park the carriage. They had branded goods. So, if you're ever on eBay and you see a Supply, Biddle, something or other, a catalog or a hammer or something, that's my family.
Wow.
And, so
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's in the blood. So I just had to go sell stuff, and that was the thing.
It's good that you got that experience selling too.
Yeah.
Because that vaulted you into things for your future.
Well, right, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Precursors.
Like every step along the way, I sold real estate, I sold insurance, I sold, something else now, I can't think of it. But every step of the way, I had great sales training, and we were talking earlier before we started about mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
Mindset used to be called personal development. And even before that, it was called positive mental attitude. It doesn't matter what you call it. Fix your head and you can have an amazing life no matter what you do. Fix your head. That's it.
It is true, though. I think the biggest person that's the enemy of our success is in the mirror. Yeah. I really do.
Well,
it is with me.
Opinions matter. No one else's opinion of me matters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty of the thing, and I was talking to somebody earlier today about play your own game. When you get to play your own game, and when you can surf ambiguity and chaos around you, you have won. Doesn't mean stuff isn't going to happen, but you have won. And definitely. It's truly amazing.
I see two sets of entrepreneurs right now. And this is something I've been running into lately. So I just want to maybe discuss it just a little bit. I didn't know I was going to go this direction. That's fine. I see really good heart-led entrepreneurs, just really, really good people with big hearts that would help you with anything. And then I see these other ones right now that are kind of elitist. They think they're better than everybody else. They put other people down. I mean, it's just a very bad look, to be honest. And I've ran into those people recently. And, I just struggled with how to handle that. And I just wished them a good day. And pretty much that was it. But I've been so fortunate to have good-hearted people on my show and not the other way around. Right. But I run into these people a lot. Do you see that too, or is it just me or what?
I think I understand what you're saying. And every day, so when I wake up in the morning, I have a morning ritual or practice or whatever, and I meditate. And, it doesn't matter what a person's religious or spiritual leanings are. To me, meditation is just quiet time, and I'm breathing and I'm going through a routine to enter my day. So that I hope that is not offensive to anyone who's listening.
No, we say whatever we want on here.
Cool. That's the best. That's the best. So like I'll meditate and I'll go through a very specific practice of ideas that I want to be mindful of as I go through my day. And I don't mean mindful as in the, what's his name? The mindfulness guy. I mean, just, I want to be aware.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So every day I do the same thing every single morning. And there are some books that I read, and call me boring, but I think I've read the same 10 or 15 books for probably the last 10 years.
No, it's okay.
Because I want these ideas in my head. And my business is about serving and value.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to start with my own self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you're talking about, though, with the difference. There are people, I think, who come across maybe as not the kind of person that I would necessarily want to be, and they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
They don't enter my world. I don't, granted, I'm not out interviewing marketers, so, but I might be on their email list, but they don't enter my world. Chaos doesn't enter my world. I have a very clear path for myself, and it starts with self-awareness, and then it goes to service and value for the members of my group. And
that's awesome.
That's where I live.
It's almost like you look out for a family. So it's what the feeling is on my part. When I sense the way you're presenting your members and you, it's almost like you're like family to them. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds crazy. I love my clients. Like, I really love my clients.
Does not sound crazy. It does not sound crazy at all.
That's the best way of doing business.
I agree. Heart-led entrepreneurship. And that's what I'm 100% about. Mm-hmm. 100%. I think you are too. I can see that. And that it isn't everybody today. It isn't everybody. And I've been very fortunate, like I said, to have so many good people on the show. So that being said, tell me a little bit more about your interaction with your people, your clients. They come to you and what do they do? Yeah.
Oh man, they come into the group and they're like, man, I hate Facebook. It doesn't work. I'm like, oh so it does. Let's show you how. And there currently are 4 modules. I'm currently recording version 2 because Facebook always changes, so you can't let it sit still. But they go through a very definite, funnel process and start to get some wins. And most of them do. But it's not just about the Facebook ads. It's not about Facebook. Facebook is just the best advertising platform in the history of history. Because we have never before had access to this kind of data for free. Like, access to it is free. There's ad spend. You might have to pay to learn, but the platform is free. And so what you always have to take into account is, and we talk about this in the group, Facebook has a mission to give a good user experience to the people using it. And their people, the people who are using it, they're not talking about marketers. They're talking about, Sally Sue, who goes on to look at kitten pictures. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what they want. They want good user experience. So as marketers, if we learn how to play in that environment, we can do very well. So members come in, they learn a very specific set of actions that they can take. And then, we'll do some other markety kind of stuff, like, with emails and things. But along the way, so I'm in the group 7 days a week. Wow. We have 3 live calls a week with, ask me anything kind of calls. Take a look at my ad account. What's happening to my store? What about my conversion rate? All kinds of stuff. So if that, if you're a Shopify store owner, and here's how part of the way this got sparked. Shopify has a blog. A large number of their the blog posts are about, I don't get traffic, I can't make sales. And if you go anywhere where Shopify store owners are talking, I can't get traffic, I can't make sales. my people are getting traffic and making sales. And, the one gal that I was talking about earlier, she's proof, because now, $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month, and she took a 2-week vacation with her family. She couldn't do that before.
Wow.
And, another gal, she did one project and increased her average order value by 400 or 600%. I know.
Holy cow.
Right? It's like things like this happen
600%.
all the time. It is one project.
Wow.
There are lots of other things. She went from struggling to make one sale to making 200 sales a month. So, it's really remarkable what's possible.
You make me want to open a store. I'm just kidding. But seriously, that's pretty darn good.
It's pretty darn good. So I spend a lot of time with people, in the group. I always tell them, tag me, ask me questions, screenshots, whatever you need. And so we spend a lot of time together.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice about your clients? I mean, in our world, a lot of the marketers that I know do a lot of video. They do a lot of, they put themselves out there quite a bit. So there's a lot of imposter syndrome, if you know what that is, or
yeah, I
know
what that is. I wrote it.
No, yeah, but I mean, what's the number one thing that you think, not process based, but based on their internal struggle? What's the biggest thing that you see in clients that you serve that is holding them back?
Sometimes it's mindset, sometimes it's tactical,
Okay.
So part of the value I feel like I provide is establishing what's normal. And in our group, success is normal.
Nice. That's a good baseline to have.
It's a good baseline, right? Absolutely. But then, there's tactics, there's strategy, and there are principles. And we're using all three. And I might not outline something that I'm describing as a tactic, a strategy, or a principle, but I'm incorporating that into everything I'm teaching or sharing, depending. So
it seems like it's a tangible step-by-step process to where they can become successful with a system.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a system. The members area has, I don't know how many hours of video it is, but it's quite a bit of video. And they can go through the 4 different modules. They're called phases. And, they go through a very definite system of set up your ads like this. Is your Facebook pixel installed properly? What apps are, just the basics that you need in your store? Schema. I love Schema. Schema is like, you want to talk techie for a minute? Let's talk about Schema. I get really excited about Schema. All kinds of stuff like that. And then setting up some basic e-commerce funnels. And then, so funnels, that's really a buzzword. It's more about what's the customer journey, and thinking then in terms of where's my customer in the whole flow of all of this, and what are they thinking, because I think about my clients, store owners need to think about their customers and have a you-focused kind of
mentality.
Discussion.
Yeah. So I have no idea what Schema is. I'm not trying to be funny, but I have never heard of that before. Could you explain what that is?
Absolutely.
For listeners?
Schema is the coolest darn thing to come down the pike since meta tags. So back in the day, let's say it's, what is this now, 2020. So let's say back in 2006, 7, 8, we had these things called meta tags. Right? So you had to put in your title, description, keywords, just in the header of your whatever web page you were building. And that was how the search engines could figure out what the heck it is you're talking about, because they certainly weren't reading video. We weren't posting video in those days. You just couldn't. I mean, it was just way too much bandwidth. So now we have Schema. So when you go to like Google, for example, and you're looking for something, Well, there are these cards that show up where there used to be the maps, and there used to be like, you know, that was a 10-pack, then it was a 7-pack, then it was a 3-pack, and now we have these cards. Sometimes you don't even have to click through to a website to get your answer because there are these cards. Well, those cards are generated by structured data or markup language. And if you go to schema.org, this is getting super geeky. I don't think you want to go down this rabbit hole.
That's all right.
But if you go to schema.org, what's there is basically a definition, a dictionary of about 1 million, or actually it's probably more than that by now, definitions that the search engines and Facebook can now read to see what's on the page. Now in e-commerce, this is super, super, super important because, you know, I'm selling a red shirt, a blue shirt, and a yellow shirt all in one page, and the prices, but the blue shirt is out of stock. So Schema can tell red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, what the prices are, and that the one shirt is out of stock.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Wow, it reads data very, very good, effectively.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that was out because, you know.
Yeah, it's huge. It's the thing that makes the movie listings pop up just on the listing, you know, the search engine results pages.
Oh, okay.
There's all kinds of stuff because of structured data that you can do with websites that we didn't used to be able to do. So that's just high level. Just
very high level.
Yeah.
Very high level. Wow. Like I said, I had no idea, which is, normal for me. Just fine. I'm not in that space. So
you know so much stuff that I don't know, so we're even.
Yeah, we'll see. I just talk to people. That's kind of my thing. That's what I do. So I enjoy it.
I enjoy your podcast, Jim. I mean, you're good at this.
Yeah, I really like what I do. And I think that's the bottom line. If anybody who loves what they do, loves the people they serve, I think that's just a wonderful combination, and it just helps you succeed.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem like work when you like it.
That's right. That's right.
So, about this, so you can have is it a membership site or a membership group, or how does that work?
It's a group. Yeah, everything. I don't even have a website of my own. And actually, I've been full-time in digital marketing for 11 years. And, you know, I've never had, I think I ran ads once for maybe a month in 11 years. I mean, like, there's just always work, and there's always, you know, a way to help people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have a website for the group. We're in a Facebook group. The membership area is in just a portal, and they can just go in and watch the videos online.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So say I'm the average client. I come in, I really don't have a really good idea what the heck I'm doing, which, you know, most people don't. Some people do, but most people don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's normal.
I'm absolute beginner level. What's your first steps with me?
Well, the very first thing is the onboarding call. And actually, the onboarding call is not our first contact.
Okay.
Because what happens before they actually purchase the program, we're about, you know, service and value, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So my job is to bring my self-awareness to the service and value conversation in all cases. So the sales conversation is very much about, what can I do for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm trying to think of a story that I can tell, but the whole idea is to have essentially a coaching call,
mm-hmm.
and then to see if they want to join the group. And then
to see if it's a fit.
To see if it's a fit.
Yeah.
And it may not be for us, and it may not
mm-hmm.
be for them.
Right.
So that's an okay answer. I'm not hung up on, you know, like, I'll do a whole lot of coaching calls before we get somebody else in the group, and that's okay. So
you have to be very particular because you have so many people that you care about in your group.
Exactly.
You know, you can't just have anyone in there, you know, you really need to vet those people out a little bit.
Yeah. And that's not so qualifying from a sales perspective, is very much about service and value, because it's not going to serve someone to be in the group who isn't going to get full value out of it. There are so many programs, and that's the thing about marketing and the internet. There's so many other places to go. If I can't help somebody, I know who to send them to. I know hundreds of other people who have programs or systems or books or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not a fit for me, I can send them somewhere else. It's okay.
That's good. That's
so
really good.
And it just makes everything funner for everybody.
It does.
More funner.
It just takes the pressure off too, I think.
Of everyone, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So rapport is really important.
Yes.
The onboarding call for a new member is basically a continuation of the conversation, the first, essentially coaching call. It's not a sales call. I want to know, what help they need.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the onboarding, and then they jump into the members area and the group, and I'll do an introductory post and bring them in, and, other people in the group will welcome them. They're not all just sitting around. The culture is very much about being helpful to each other, and they're always doing amazing things for each other. Like, hey, take a look at my landing page. Tell me what you think. Other people chime in. It's fantastic.
That's great. Awesome, because then people have learned from you and from the program, and then they can start to be leaders and teachers themselves.
Exactly.
Which helps you, which helps the group, which helps everybody involved.
Well, also teaching is one of the best ways to learn.
Oh,
so
it
you
is.
Get new information.
It really is.
Absolutely. You get new information, you apply it.
Yep.
If you can teach it, it's yours. And so like for myself, I have a rule that I don't often use cliches. If I can't say something in my own words, I don't know well enough, and I have no business talking about it. So that's my own personal thing.
I'm into sports, so cliches are my thing. That is, if you've ever listened to a coach talk or any NFL or NBA athlete,
exactly,
cliche after cliche after
strung together, right?
Yep, I'm just doing all I can for the team and trying to work hard.
Take the ball down the line and
work harder.
I think we're going to pass.
We got to go and
we run.
Like I live in Michigan, so kind of root for the Lions. Sadly,
sorry.
I did a Lions podcast. It turned into complaining, so I just kind of I couldn't do it anymore. But that's the whole thing. They'll lose all the time. Let's be like, we just got to go back to the drawing board, and I don't even know where the drawing board is, but we use it every year. It's just things that come out of our mouth that we don't even think about when we say them.
Right.
I love how your attitude is about that, though. That's very difficult because you have to be very mentally disciplined to not use stuff like that.
Yeah, and I can count on one hand with fingers left over how many times I've said, it is what it is. I've used that 3 times ever because I can't
probably
stand
3
it.
times today.
Yeah, exactly. But if I can't explain something, I'm not going to use words as a throwaway. I'm going to find out, okay, what is it that I'm actually trying to say? And then, because I spend so much of my time in front of people guiding, it's really important that I'm conveying a message in a way that can get into somebody's noodle.
Absolutely. Especially when you're into marketing, because that's all about message.
It's all about message. Yeah. Human psychology, message. So I'm constantly studying, I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly applying, and I'm constantly teaching.
That's awesome. I love what you do. I really do. I didn't know a whole lot about it before we started talking. So, but yeah, it's really, really cool. So you have 42 members right now.
Yes.
And those members help other members. Give me a couple more stories if you have them about people in the group.
I got some great stories.
Let's do it.
So one of the members came in and her return on ad spend, which is a metric that we look at pretty closely to gauge the success of campaigns.
Like return on investment type thing?
It's like ROI, only it's
Yeah.
specifically to the marketing.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. So she came in, and I think her lifetime high was 0.25, 0.25. Every campaign was in the negative. And so we got her up to a fairly consistent 4.5, meaning for every dollar she put in the machine, she got $4.50 back.
Wow. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool.
That's what
So
everyone should want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really the coolest thing. So every part of the program is that every store is different, every member is different, and they seem to each have different requirements. So I just need to suss out what those are and bring it to them.
Wow. Those are impressive numbers. They really are. And I know a lot of people struggle with getting people in front of their stuff and growing an audience. Well, see, that's in my case, I guess. But I mean, because I deal a lot with online marketers and podcast hosts and people that are selling courses online. And it's all about drawing traffic and getting numbers. And so what you're doing is a little bit different than what I'm used to, because I'm not used to, I don't have too many people on here that's had physical products to sell.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yes.
little different, but
It
still
feels
you have
different.
you have to get eyes on stuff. It's just the way it
Principles
is.
are the same. The
Yes.
principles are the same. So
Yes.
you're talking, essentially the difference is lead generation
Mhm.
versus selling physical products, but the
Yes.
principles are the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's part of the magic of marketing. If you're focused on, well, it's just Facebook ads. No, it's marketing first, then it's platform. Most businesses don't have a platform problem.
Right. It's their message that's messed up.
Or their targeting. I can't tell you how many business owners I've talked to, and they don't know who they're selling to.
Oh, you have to have an avatar of who you're selling to.
Some don't.
Oof. Wow.
Or it's not refined enough. And that makes it really expensive. Facebook is really expensive if you don't know who you're talking to.
Trial and error is really expensive.
I lived like that for years.
I read this book, and it was an audio book, and it was an online sales person, and he was like, it was like for him, his avatar, his audience, his tribe, he called them like a missing persons report. Like if you lost your child and you went to an officer or someone that represented the law or someone that was searching for your child, you'd give them every description of that person. Yeah. So you have to find your missing people. You have to find the people that you serve and be able to give so much detail that you'll be able to go to any group and find.
Yeah. Yes. That's targeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mm-hmm. In fact, at the end of last year, 2019, I sat down to write about kind of breakthrough business ideas for my clients. And then someone talked me into, well, you should actually expound on some of these ideas a little bit more and send it out to the public. So 3 days later and a whole bunch of coffee later, I had a 30-page document, 1.5 space.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I'm done. Yeah,
wow.
Bring me out, I'm all done. And so actually, it's something, if it's okay, I can share it with your guests, because it's only a month old, and all of the ideas in it are, highly applicable for the long.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
So I'll make sure you have that.
Okay. Then that's very nice, that people can look at new ideas and a fresh look at things, because a lot of times we get bogged down in our own self-speak and our own ideas, and we should always be learning and always expanding our mind, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. And this piece is exactly about targeting. So It'll work for you. It'll work for, someone selling
Well, then I'll be
Those
reading it, of
products.
course.
Cool.
So I'm
Good.
into that. I really am.
Good. Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time. That was one thing I'm going to say too, that I think one of the biggest, because I put out like not a poll question, but just a question to my group. And I said, hey, what's the one thing that seems to be holding you back in your business? And they're like, just time. It's trying to get everything done in a good way and the right way, but still, wearing all these hats yourself, because you really can't afford to farm it out at this point or something, because some people are just starting out.
Yeah.
So that was the number one complaint so far, is time.
Mm-hmm.
And people that had never commented before commented too. And I'm like, wow,
That's a hot topic then. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a big pain point there.
May I share my thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I brought it up for.
I have all the time in the world.
Uh-oh. Tell me how.
Okay. That's the mindset. That's part of my mindset practice in the morning, is I have all the time I need to do everything I need to do today. Chaos does not touch my world. It just doesn't.
I'd love to be in your world.
Little pink hippos.
Spent so much time today. I didn't get half of what
Pollyanna. Call me Pollyanna.
I don't mind that. I don't. I used to get really, there was a point in my life where I didn't like positive people, because I called myself a realist. I've since changed, but I called myself a realist.
I'm also a contrarian.
Uh-oh.
So I will argue, if only in here.
Oh, and that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of our struggle with time is we don't know how to prioritize it, and we don't know how to get things done efficiently and effectively.
I agree with that. So one of the things I do I don't want to use the word combat, because I don't feel like I'm fighting.
Alleviate, maybe?
Alleviate, yep. I duplicate myself by having someone clean my house and having my groceries delivered.
Nice.
I haven't spent time. I don't remember the last time I spent time in the grocery store. I spend that time working on things for my clients.
That's
because someone else is buying my groceries, and it's a minuscule upcharge. It sounds kind of, a friend of mine uses the word bougie. It sounds kind of bougie, but you know what?
I know the term, trust me.
Yeah. It really sounds kind of highfalutin, but at the end of the day, that's probably 2 more hours that I get to spend on my client work that I didn't have to spend elsewhere. So,
right.
It's good.
See, and that's awesome, because then you have more time for your group, your people, and the projects that you want to put your heart into.
Exactly. Right.
You have nothing wrong with that.
Back to the entrepreneurial thing. I'll work 16 hours for me, but I was terrible at working 8 hours for somebody else. I was really bad at that.
That's me too.
I should have been fired.
I hated working for, I'm sitting here looking at the clock all the time at work, like, oh my God, this is so slow. Now I look at the clock at home when I'm working, because I work at home now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'll look at the clock, I'm like, what the heck? Where did 4 hours go?
Exactly. Last few days especially, I'll pick up my head, I'll look at the clock, and I'm like, I haven't had lunch yet. It's almost dinner time.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It's because you're engrossed in what you do. You like what you do. So yes, there's a lot of work to it, but it doesn't seem like work. It doesn't seem like work. Mm-hmm. But I want to give you the opportunity now to have the floor and tell us what you're offering right now, and how people can take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Jim. So the e-commerce traffic handler program, I'm open now to adding a few more people into the group. So people can PM me, and I sent you the link to my personal messenger, so people can have that link. PM if you want to friend me first, so that I actually see it. I also gave you my, but I check the invisible inbox also, in case someone pings me without friending me first. But so we're open to a few more people, probably 10. Mm-hmm. Okay. And, if you're a Shopify store owner making $5,000 a month at least, and that would be the minimum, because, you want to be able to hit the ground running. You don't want to be lost. It's a 12-week program, so you don't want to be lost the first 6 weeks trying to decide what to sell. I would not be of service to someone doing that. So you're at that threshold and you want to grow, that's when you come into the program.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Have your stuff together is what she's saying. Politely.
Yeah, you don't have to be like a Shopify guru,
No,
knowing all kinds of stuff.
But you have to be active.
You have to be active.
And you have to be making some money, or at least selling some money.
You don't even have to be in profit. We'll work on that.
Right.
One of the things we do with really early in the program is look at the numbers of your business. And I have a document that I give. Actually, I use it as a giveaway too. So if anybody wants that, just PM me and I'll give it to you. But it's a worksheet called the numbers of your business, and it's 20 essential numbers for marketing and running your business, marketing on Facebook, that you must know to be successful. And, a lot of people find this to be extremely eye-opening.
I probably would too. I know how I am.
I will send you one.
And I want, for the last part of the show, I just want you to have the floor a little bit more, to open your heart to people out there and just tell them what's on your heart, what's on your mind for them.
Yeah. Oh, man. We were talking so much today, Jim, you and I, about self-awareness, and just a little bit of that. It's not a psychological term to me. I think that humans can really transcend psychology, and I'm going to get all deep and squishy on that stuff, so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole too far. But a little bit of self-awareness, to be able to have the detachment so that you can run your business and not get yanked all around when you have a bad day. Or you get all yanked around when you have a really good day. It's just a day. So that's how I spend my time, and just a day. And that doesn't mean that I don't get all yanked around. I do, but I get back to center pretty quickly. And that's been a long journey. So that's just something else that I can bring. We don't talk about mindset stuff a whole lot in the group, but it's there.
That's really cool. I really appreciate you being on with me tonight. It's tonight for me, so I'm going to say tonight because it's my show. I do what I want.
Yes, you do. That's good. Play your own game.
I do. But I really appreciate you being on tonight and enlightening us about what you do, how you can serve, and I just appreciate your time tonight.
Well, right back to you, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you, discuss with you everything, and whoever is listening. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for listening. That is our show for today. And I appreciate it if you hit the subscribe and the bell to let you know when the next video is coming out. And we appreciate you. Have a good day.